If I think you are an awkward sod who's just coming along to the meeting and you know, just being difficult for the sake of being difficult, I'm not going to listen to a word you say. I'll just blank it. So the being trusted as being willing and helpful and saying something useful, I learnt this in forecasting long ago, incidentally. You can't, there's no point producing the forecast for what you actually think will happen if nobody's going to believe it. You might as well just shut up. So if you think things are going to be better next year than this year, don't make too big a gap. I'm an economist, which means, of course, that I'm dismal. It also means I can't reach a conclusion. It was President Truman who said, if you put all the economists in the world end to end, you wouldn't reach a conclusion. Or give me a two-handed economist, you know, on the one hand, on the other hand, you know, what are we going to say? And also, of course, in terms of risk, one of the things that economists are notorious for is just making the assumption. We do a lot of businesses and risk officers and so on, particularly in financial services, but increasingly elsewhere. We're being asked to do the risk-based audits, risk-based regulation, risk-based everything. So that implies that we can identify what these risks are and concentrate on the ones that really matter. I've done financial institutions. I was on the board of a financial institution during the credit crunch, 2007 through 2008 and 2009. We looked at a lot of things that could go wrong, but the stress tests that the FSA would now ask you to do, a 1 in 200 year stress, for example. What is a 1 in 200 year stress? Well, we certainly didn't get that the wholesale markets would completely close and that you wouldn't be able to get any liquidity or turnover normal business because the markets had been so spooked that they no longer knew what a safe institution was and what a risky institution was. And so they just assumed all institutions were kind of equally risky and there was no business to be done at any price. Well, one of the things is how we think about the scenarios and the planning aspects of this. And I think this is where we're really beginning to get into, well, we've got all this, you know, we're collecting masses of data, we've got a massive amount of information, what do we do with it? And one of the things that I think that we need to think about a lot harder is to move away from just thinking about risk-based and actually ask more the what-if question.